Three, two, one. Welcome back to the Runs podcast. The prodigal son has returned. He's back from the Balkan road trip. He hasn't had a haircut. He hasn't had a shave. He's looking very Croatian. What's happening? Okay.
Preferably Bosnia. They were cooler.
Yeah.
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to get back into the swing of things. I can't even remember what I done last Tuesday now, but I was bored.
He was bored without me. Now I'm to do this.
No, I knew. What's happening? Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Back. I was back to work today. Shit weather. Back to reality, with a bang.
Absolutely. It was a good trip, was it? Would you recommend people doing that kind of trip?
Unbelievable trip, mate. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Some places I would never have heard of or gone before. Some unbelievable scenery, as I'm sure anyone following on Instagram like to see with my spam. But no, yeah, unbelievably good. Great places.
It looked really good, to be fair. You balanced it out quite well as well. You didn't get on a piss every day. It was every other day, like out excursions one day and then chill the next day, was it?
Yeah, that's because I had a bit of driving in between places as well. Some days every day, every other day, like.
Yeah.
But it was really good. Like covered about 1,000 km, some unreal mountains we went over and through, and brilliant places. Loved it.
Yeah. Was it all like Game of Thrones?
Never seen it, but I know what it's sort of. No, I fucking shit.
I tell you what, before we move on, I just remembered I binged 5 episodes of Mobland last night, so if you're looking for something to watch.
Yeah, I've watched the first 6 before we went away.
Tom Hardy's a beast, isn't he? He's built for roles like that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just class, isn't he?
Unbelievable. Class. Yeah. I'm going to watch some more after this now.
But no, Game of Thrones, that thing in Qatar we walked up to. Dan Price, big shout to him because he messaged me on. I said, do it. It's worth it. Leanne moaned all the way up, but that was cracking. But yeah, look, the coastline of Montenegro, unbelievable, and Croatia. And then Bosnia, we was obviously inland more in Mostar, which was stunning. And Sarajevo, loved it in Sarajevo. You know, obviously anyone our age should know the history of what happened there.
Because I only ever associate Sarajevo. I never dug further into it, but you remember it from the news, and I was like, "You're going to Sarajevo?"
Yeah,
but apparently it's not the same Sarajevo anymore.
Well, it's still obviously that they still got the shell marks and the hole and the stuff on the road, the blood, not the blood, they like fake blood. They went. It'd be bad if it's blood. They call it the roses or something. I can't remember the terms there, but they've left it there purposely so they always remember what happened to them and I but unbelievable place. Really enjoyed Sarajevo the 2 days we had there. Class place I was.
Lovely. What car did you get in the end?
Ended up with a Citroen Elise, I don't know. It was all right. I asked for a small car. I want something small just to have no issues parking. They ended up giving me a medium-sized one, but it was all right. Yeah, it survived. No issues.
Good. Happy days. You haven't got a clue what's been going on in the running world while you've been away because you always switch off, don't you? If you're out on a pit or if it's a busy weekend, you forget. And I don't know either. I know some Grand Slam track. We've missed some of that, but I think Josh Kerr won, so that's why I probably put that out in my memory.
Yeah, I think I was just before I went when I had there was some racing last week in America and other places, but I've not really kept up with anything. No. They got back late, early hours Sunday, really, and went out again Sunday. Well, I did a nice hilly long run ready for Castles to take down Arwell.
Yeah, finish him.
Got some prep in there for that. Back at it now.
He followed me around all weekend, he did. He was down with Cole Park Run, and then he was down Swansea Try on Sunday as well, just following me around, snooping on me.
Yeah, when we get some download on Inside Info. I'm looking forward to that. That's not long away now. So, I did a bit of training out there, just nothing serious, just run. I like to run every place I am to say, put it on the map. I'm weird like that.
You should get one of those scratch boards or pinboard and say, ran 3K in Sarajevo.
Yeah. So, weird. Oh, that was lovely to run Sarajevo.
Yeah. How are you feeling? Feeling fit?
I'm feeling all right, actually. I think I've recovered well since London, and it wasn't still a couple of weeks after easy weeks in my back and tightness, but this over there, the week I done, I was fine. Yeah, so fingers crossed, I'm niggle free now.
Yeah.
And I can, get going and get into castles, get that out the way, and then Pascal 10K.
Yeah, perhaps it's like a lot. It's been a lot of movement as well, haven't it? Which has probably helped a lot, rather than like I said, working. You're driving, you're sitting down a lot. Then, but I know your dad drove 1,000K, but you're doing thousands of steps in between as well. So perhaps that's loosened you up a little bit.
Maybe.
Okay, and I should just be a doctor. Running. I went to Park Run in Porthcawl on Saturday. I haven't been down Porthcawl Park Run for a very long time. Went down to meet Dan and finalise the second order of the Runs Away vest. That's been sent off. Thank you ever so much to everybody that's ordered one. I'm not doing it again. It's over. That is ordered though. But we are working on a few stuff for the end of the year with a couple of different ideas as well. But Park Run, sub 30 is the goal at the moment, and just keep it under that. And it was quite comfortable as well. Up, out and back, the weather, the conditions weren't great. It was windy, very windy. Seen a lot of people down there saying they like the pod, enjoy the pod and stuff like that. So thank you to everyone that came over and said they like the pod because we like doing it. But 29.57 I think I had in the end, which I'll take.
Yeah, sub 30 down there. Like I say, it's always windy in Pascal. Very rare you get a day where it's perfect conditions down there. So yeah, decent effort on it.
It's two horrible drags,
busy
isn't it?
Now, isn't it? Was it busy? Because Pascal gets busy now. So very lost a bit at the start now as well.
Yeah. Very, very busy. But it's a funny old drag, isn't it? Because it starts dragging after less than a K. Yeah. And it's really, you drag all the way up to Rest Bay entrance, and then it's a little downhill, but then you turn around pretty much straight away, and then it's the drag back up. It's a lot of dragging, isn't it? Yeah,
there's like off the prom, we've got a little drag to the first cove, and we've got the big long, that's the longer one this side, I'd say, on the way up the longer hill.
Yeah.
Up, over, down. Yeah, you've got a bit of climbing in between. It's not flat, that's for sure.
No, but I enjoyed it. It was nice to get out, and it's just as fun. Like, I live for Swansea Park Run, I don't even think that's my closest park run. I think it's quicker to get to Porthcawl, quicker to get to my Stig, because you've got to go through the city centre together. Like,
where you've got to come in and you've got to go all the way over now and round the long dragon. Well, your closest one's probably neat, you don't like it.
Fucking the Knoll. I went there with our run, didn't I, a couple of months ago.
I'm sure that's changed as well again. I'm sure that's a totally different route now.
It has, but it's still got that little, it's that little off-road bit I hate.
Yeah. But I think it's more off-road now as well.
Yeah, it goes down the other side as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was good. I was meant to do more running around it as well, but I haven't got around to it. I spent most of the weekend editing photos from Swansea Try on the weekend then. Fuck, thank God it was a bank holiday yesterday. I spent about 6 hours in front of my laptop editing the photos and then obviously making a reel to tell everyone the photos. But lots of people have used them. That was the purpose for them. A lot of people from Warrior Tri Club used them. Obviously, E3 have used them. I've seen a couple of Swansea Vale Tri using them as well. So keep using them, because the plan is if I get into London for Diabetes UK, I'm going to come back to you all and say, remember you used my photos? Yeah. Now you better make a donation. Or I'm going to report you.
I'll be the same for if I get in Tokyo for 10 of them.
Exactly. Otherwise, I'll make you take it down.
We'll be doing strong gin. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll be watermarking them.
Instagram, fucking proper watermarks, like Sportgraph ones as well. Colin Powell sent me a mess. The boys done Tour of Pembrokeshire on the bike, didn't they? The E3 boys.
Yeah.
Colin Powell sent me a photo, said, can you help me with these? And he sent me, and the Pembrokeshire ones were watermarked to fuck them back. Like,
were they?
Yeah. I said, I can't know, but I can put people's heads on stuff.
Yeah, but
I can make some posters, but I cannot remove watermarks. It's the entire, that is why they exist. Like, they're meant to be hard to remove.
So you can't get rid of them, or you have to post them with that.
He hasn't texted me back since, wanker.
Film me with it.
Fair play. Right. So yeah, the only event we've really got to look at is Swansea Sprint Try on the weekend. I went down with the camera, 2 cameras, camera wanker. Dan from Rack lent me his camera as well because he had a bigger lens. And I was walking along the front and I thought, how are these boys going to swim in this? I couldn't even find the buoy. It was so choppy. But the boys were out.
They were.
They must have been thinking about. Must have been going to do the swim. And they were and it was fucking choppy, mate. Oh my god! I think I put a video in one of the groups we're in. And,
yeah, that's all I've seen it.
But I spoke to a lot of first timers down there. Jack Reddy was down there. Joe Garliphant was down there. And you joked, like, oh, at least you didn't have to do the swim.
Yeah.
But they want to swim now, like. Even though they don't want to swim, they've got to swim.
Yeah, they need to swim sharpish, like, because they're doing Joe's doing the Wales, but Jack 70.3 Swansea. But yeah, they haven't got many events probably booked of it before to get in the sea.
And it's not just the swimming in the sea, is it? It's getting into the transition, getting out of your wetsuit. All that's like an art that Holloway hasn't fucking mastered yet.
But, he's still fucking shit. not at the sport, just transitions. He's fucking awful.
Oh, but
what he does in that.
He could be, he'd be number one in the world if he could fucking transition properly. Bloody hell. Couple of boys down there. So what they done then? They cancelled the swim. 4K run. 20K bike, is it?
Bike, yeah, and then
5K run. And but they staggered them out as well because there's a lot of people doing it. And you've got to run down the cycle path where it gets like narrow and sandy. So they staggered them out. Kyle was like, Kyle just made a fucking force field out of all of them, obviously, because his best work is done on the bike.
Yeah,
so, bike. But that's the decision you've got to make in that, I imagine, innit? I did say I imagine. I know from speaking to these people that do it properly as well. That 4K is a plod, isn't it? Not a plod, but you're not full send on that 4K because
no, I wouldn't imagine so.
You're getting on the bike then.
It's different to swim than biking it because. Obviously, obviously in the fucking sea, not running, but yeah, you don't want to go flat out for that 4K probably, and then you're fucked on a bike.
Tired legs, then,
before even coming into a 5K. And as you said, if weather was bad and it was windy, it must have been horrible.
Oh, everyone said it was horrible. Well, do you see Kyle's story with the police bike? He definitely overtook that police bike after that after that video. He was going so fast.
Was he flying?
Oh my god! I spoke to him and he said you should hear the noise off Kyle's bike. It's fucking mad. But he just chewed them all up and finished them all off on the bike, as you know we would do anyway.
Yeah.
And he's too fast for my camera, Kyle is. I can't never get him.
Missed him.
Yeah. Missed him got a little one of him on a run because he was first run because he was behind the fucking force field, innit? Biking, he's just too fast. I need to get him just finding out when to go and say, right, let's go on a bike and you do laps of the industrial hit and I'll practice taking photos of people on a bike. Yeah. And then he was just zipping up to the finish. The finish line was cool. He ran, the new arena.
Yeah.
They've got the ramp that comes down by the opposite the jail. The back. No, you've got the top.
Yeah.
And there's a ramp and it goes down and you're back onto the main road, innit?
Yeah.
So the finish line was up the ramp and then round the front of the arena and the finish line was in front of the arena then.
Nice.
That was cool. But I thought, oh shit, he's there. He ran I was like about 100 meters away and he was running up a ramp. And you should have seen how long it took a second person to come around for me to take a photo of him. Like,
ages.
He pummeled him.
Did he?
Fair play. Some other big massive hits out there. Boys, Coidy and Pricey from E3.
Yeah. That was their first one as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you're not doing them a disservice, isn't it? But they like the middle of the road athletes compared to some of the others, and they might have to work a lot harder because they might not have everything as naturally as other people as well within the groups. But it's brilliant to see them out there. Coidy, I've never seen him so happy in my life.
No.
Pricey as well. I texted him, I said, for somebody with such a resting bitch face, it's incredible how happy you are when you're racing. But they banged out some and that's good grounding for them if they want to carry on. It's a good little hit out.
Yeah. It's a shame he didn't get a chance to go and see in it, even though it was rough. It can be scary, but yeah, hopefully they got other stuff coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else? There was loads of warriors out there. I seen Barrow. Barrow didn't
He was
fancy
in
the
a
full Shabonkel, did he?
relay when he seen.
Yeah, he was on a relay. Joe Garifant, his first hit out a triathlon as well, done 1:14. I don't know,
Yeah.
with the run, I mean, I don't know what times we're calling it, and the times will be very different.
Yeah, totally
With
different
the
when
swimming,
from
won't
like
it?
a half-mile swim to a 4K run. It's a lot longer, isn't it?
Yeah, but so Joe, yeah, loads of Ronda tried down there, Jason Browning, Page. They were flying around the place. It was a good atmosphere down there. Really enjoyed.
It was there. It was busy.
Busy down there. It was, yeah. I just wandered around and I seen all the way for a bit. I had a chat with him, and then he bored me. So no, I'm only
Fuck him off.
joking. No, I would have spent all day with Steve, but I just went to get better. There was better places to stand to get photos and all. Then
Yeah.
yeah.
Really?
So
Good
that
job.
was good. Yeah, good. And they don't like a lot of them will be back down there for the 70.3 Ironman now as well.
I'd imagine a lot of them, yeah, people over there doing that. I'll be there next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's about all I can remember, really. I done a park run. I went to watch a sprint triathlon. You've only been gone for a week, so I can't have missed much else, can we?
No, I don't think so, mate. We might have
It's
missed.
calm in there.
Oh, Safa was on, wasn't it? Wasn't there a Safa
Safa,
while I was away?
our mate Dan Nash taking the win.
Yeah, Dan took the win, so he's back from injury.
Bishy's sporting. Bishy's after that Adidas deal, and he's sporting some fucking very obvious 3 stripes at the moment.
Yeah.
He's
Nice
transitioning.
nice half tights he had on to go with his red Adidas.
Yeah.
Goes the 3 stripes, and he.
Will you race the other 2 now, or?
Well, I what?
other
Safa,
two
no, one of them, because I think one of them's just before Puthcall, the week of Puthcall, I think. So I won't.
Are you going to race this the night before Puthcall? What night are you going to race this?
Oasis, I'm going on the Friday night, thank fuck, so at least I got a day to recover before Puthcall.
I know, yeah.
I just got to not go into a 2-day bender if I've enjoyed it much. So I got to try and.
I know, I'll be a 3-day bender.
And then fucking recover for a day before trying having it at Puthcall. I know it's not ideal, but it's 20 years this will be not in the making.
I know.
So
We'll allow it. We will allow it.
Like you will.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'd be the same if I don't know, there's Eminem maybe?
I was gonna say would it be Eminem?
Tupac and Biggie are dead, and they
holograms, innit? You could get the old Aber hologram.
Yeah. I always regret never seeing Kanye West. And he was in Cardiff and I never went.
Was he?
And I always regret not seeing DMX because I turned around outside the club and didn't go in when he was in there and went somewhere else instead. But yeah, I don't know. Bands are a bit better, different than they.
Yeah, should be a good support thing with Oasis as well. I think Cast have been announced. Richard Ashcroft. I don't know if he's at Cardiff or. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's not ideal with thing. But no, I'm sure Safa is that week or the week after. But the last one I think I can do. I haven't looked at the dates. But I'm sure the next one I can't either. Because I don't want to run the week of Puthcall. Or race anyway. So there's no point.
I've seen earlier, Keep Arwell spending a lot of time on this pod this week. But Run for All have announced their 5K series as well, starting in July. So I might enter that.
Yeah, I'm going to do a couple of them. I can get to some of them. Again, Aberabney can be a nightmare in the summer down there with the wind or if it's sunny. You know what Aberabney's like on a busy night. Fucking everyone there having chips and ice cream. It becomes a fucking Dodge fest. Honestly, mate, it's a nightmare. It is.
I fancy it. I might try the GoPro on my head.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, because you know what people are like. Like, I was out running tonight doing laps of town, doing some efforts, and fucking people are just morons, innit? So people running towards me, you can obviously see me. I'm coming from a big long straight. 2 people with a dog on a narrow pavement. Do you think he fucking moved? Or tucked into one side? Did they bollocks? That's why I had to step onto the road. Fucking arseholes.
Crazy.
But I've ranted about that enough.
Yeah.
Before. So don't want to keep going over the same shit.
No more rants. We're not ranting until we rant again.
Yeah, until we find something more about.
I would like to go 54, 59 in Puthcall, but probably should start doing a bit more training than that.
Yeah, well, how many weeks away is it? Because Castles is now, what, 10 fucking days away, or it'll be a
5
week when
weeks.
it's out.
They go away in 4 weeks, so 5 weeks.
Is there? Yeah, it's 6th of July, innit? So yeah, fucking 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, I come
Yeah.
home on the
Right.
Thursday, I think, and then it's on the
Oh,
Sunday.
do you?
No, it's a week after because I'm home in time for
Minor.
minor.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to join us on the minor, it's a free race. You can pay for it and you get a free t-shirt, but you know how we feel about them. But
that to be timed as well, and to have an official time, or you can just enter for free. You just got to register, haven't you?
yeah, but if you go with it, you can't post your watch time, right? Fuck off. You'd have to. But it's a 10k round my stake. It's quite a challenging little loop, isn't it?
Yes, tough little bit of off-roading and nasty climb. But it's a good one, and it's a good social, and like we've always said, how they put it on for free. It's mad, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one. It's good. I like it the week before it's called. Just come chill, have a nice social one there. It's good.
Yeah. We normally use it as a little hit out for the vest as well, don't we? So it's nice for us to get up there and see everyone in the vests.
It is.
And yeah, but it's about to get busy. So this is a bit of a slower episode this week. We've got Emily coming back on because she has been doing mad stuff. A space opened up because we couldn't get the guy we wanted to come on. He won't come on, will he?
Well, he says he will if he does this and that, and then he fucking always bottles it and says, I won't go into it, but yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah. But I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. So we've got plenty of races coming up, but we've got Castles, we'll have Rack Raid, and then everything else starts. So we'll have plenty of stuff to cover as well. We'll have the Ironman 70.3, and before you know it, we'll be back down Tembe on the banking, slapping asses as they go up the fucking hill.
Yeah. Should be a busy summer coming up of racing and going to races, doing shit.
Yeah, exactly. Happy days. Right, shall we add another person in and get Emily in to see what she's been up to? So last March we had her on. That's fucking mad, isn't it?
So yeah, what's that, like 14 months?
15 months ago?
Yeah.
I watched the episode back and it's fucking shit. We were so crap. Not Emily, you were fantastic. But like the production and everything was, we've come so far. We've come on leaps and bounds in 14 months.
Are we good now, Em?
Yeah. People wouldn't stop us in park runs if we weren't good.
That's true.
No. People wouldn't buy the vests if we weren't good. Nah, they probably would. They're stunning.
They are nice vests, or they might. It's just nice merch.
Anyone ask you out there, where can I get your vest?
No. Nobody said a word about it. I did wear it a bit.
Good. As much as Scott Greywood is out in Dubai doing his own little personal photo shoot.
You weren't in fucking Dubai. You don't Trek or Bay. You just Photoshop that in.
Yeah, he was using the right filters, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Fair play. Right, let's get Emily on. Alright, boys and girls, this episode is supported by Racked. Are you looking to gear up your club with some custom high quality kit? Whether it's socks, t-shirts, vests, tri-suits or bike apparel, Racked has got you covered. With Racked you can create fully custom kit for your club, designed just the way you want them. The bespoke in-house design service allows you to bring your ideas to life. Whether you're a running club, a cycling club or a triathlon club. And it's not just about style either. Rack delivers high performance gear, perfect for all your training and racing needs. Ready to get started? Drop them an email on info@racked.online and kick off your custom design today. Welcome back, a familiar face. Spent some time on the pod way back in March last year now. And you've done loads since. What's happening? You okay?
I'm all good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me back on.
That's all right. Thanks for giving us something to talk about in the last 12 months. You wanted to come back on.
Though.
I know. But at least we don't have to go back through school and stuff like that now, and we can start not long after. You shot off to Swan. Did you go to Australia before or after London?
After, yeah, see my brother.
Yeah. So not long after we'd last spoke, you were gearing up for London 2024. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then, how was that?
Well,
241?
2:41, yeah. So before we spoke, that means at the time my PB would have been 2:47. So I wanted to go under 2:45. Training had been all right, but my dad, I think everyone got some weird virus, probably another COVID strain, who knows? And it'd been a bit of a struggle. So I wasn't feeling that confident going into London, to be honest, last year. But I had the race of my life. I just felt insane. And ran 2:41, which completely exceeded my expectations of what I could do. And to be honest, it was that finish line that I felt like that was the moment of kind of thinking, oh, I've got more now. This is just a new kind of world of running that I never thought I'd get to. I just remember thinking that there, it was mad.
Because we'll get on to that. Go on, what was you going to say?
Negative split as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and do you know what? So I went out at maybe a 2:40, 4:43 pace, and it just felt so comfortable. But the London is the second half is slower. The first because it's a bit downhill for the first 5-10K, and I just didn't know how I'd feel. And I got to about 16, 17 miles, and I just thought, I'm just going to go for it now. I got in an extra gear, and I was just dropping people left, right, and centre, and it just felt. I remember thinking, I never know if you should say this or not, but I remember thinking in the run, oh my God, this is what it must be like to be on EPO, because I just felt, I felt invincible. And it's probably because I was fitter than I thought I was. So I probably went out conservatively and just had more in the tank. So amazing experience.
Yeah, brilliant.
2:41, 2024. Listeners, write that down because we'll be coming into 2025 shortly. But then you had a little small matter, some stuff sandwiched in between, but you had a world champs to get to as well, because you're still a bit of a triathlete now, aren't you?
Still tackling.
You had the world champs as well.
Yeah, so I had Ironman world champs in Nice in September. That was the kind of London was the first big focus of the year, and then Nice was the second big focus. So I had a few other things in the middle. We can touch over them if you want.
So what should we mention? What did you ask us to mention? Winning Swansea off.
Boy, it'll never happen again. And to be honest, right, I got lucky because there's another level of runners female runners ahead of me, like Natasha Cochran, people who are running 110 or 111, 112, 113 times, which I'm not at, and they weren't there. So I was like, this is my one ever opportunity to win this race. And luckily it went all right.
And
long course was there though.
That's true. Still won.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And long course weekend you've done as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So I did the full weekend again. That was my third year in a row of doing the full long course. So the swim on the Friday, the bike on the Saturday, then the marathon on the Sunday, which is just, I think it's one of the hardest marathons in the UK. Not that I've done them all, but it is absolutely brutal.
I don't understand how you do it, because you're married now as well. You've got a full-time job.
Locked in.
But you're always competing as well. You're like Jacob, aren't you? Always racing.
Do you know what? It doesn't feel like it at the time, but when I look back, it does actually seem like that.
When I was going through your Instagram earlier, I was like, this can't all be one space of 12 months.
But do you know what? Reflecting back, they all fitted in really nicely. So last year, it was the build to London is the A race.
Yeah.
The half, which to be honest, I'm just relying on marathon fitness. There's no half specific training in that. Long course works out well with Ironman training, so it's a really good training weekend. Swansea 70.3 is on my doorstep. I can't not do that. It's incredible. And then Nice, and then I suppose a bit of a gap from Nice to this year at least.
Yeah. So let's talk about Nice, because that was again another race from Central the Gods for you as well.
Oh, it was insane.
What did you go the entire weekend? Because we are never going to an Ironman World Champs.
But I'm going to support this year.
Oh, you're going to watch Steve, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to support.
Honestly, so the reason it was so amazing, don't get me wrong, the race experience was incredible. It was a women's only race, which I've never done before. And the vibe was just so different. It was so special. And they've announced now that it's going back to Kona. It's the same day, isn't it? So it will actually be the only ever women's world champ unless they change it. Full Ironman in Nice. The whole build up was insane. I got there it was the Wednesday, but there's something on all, like, at every point of the day and evening leading up to the race, and like a lot of people were obviously taking it very seriously, and we're not going to events and we're resting and chilling, and I was like, I'm going to everything. I'm literally, I'm all in the whole experience.
Soak it all in, yeah. You've got to.
100%. Like, I got to go to runs with, like, you know, Ironman World Champions. I went to Q&A panels. I went to everything you could go to, and it was just insane. Like, just the most sickest experience ever.
And how did you do?
10:55. Sub 11 was all I wanted. I remember I actually looked back at my text to my coach when I qualified in Wales in 2023, being like, do you think sub 11 is possible in Nice? And it was like, sure, going to be hard, we'll go for it. And yeah, I got it. And I knew that was going to be my last full while.
That's what I was going to say. You'd made peace, but you'd made that decision now. I'm going to be a runner after this. So you were just there to enjoy.
Yeah, like,
and compete, but enjoy.
But I'm not a top triathlete. I'm never going to be. Like, that's never the plan. I just, you know, what started out as like wanting to do something a bit different after I'd done a few marathons. I did a sprint tri, and then Olympic, and then half Ironman, and full, and then just everything, you know, ended up qualifying for a world champs in Nice. Like, this was never on my agenda. But I think it was particularly last year, and especially London, where I thought, I've really got to give this running a go. Like, I love triathlon. I love cycling. Don't really like the swimming. Just do it because I have to. And I just kind of felt like it was the right time. You know, you can easily just keep signing up to them year on year on year.
Yeah.
Addicted. But, you know, I'm not getting any younger. I just think now it's basically a now or never if I really wanted to give the running a smash. So that was the plan. And it was the best decision I made, because I feel so fulfilled from the last 4 or 5 years that there's nothing more I could get from it. You know, like, I just feel like it's ticked every box, and I'm ready to do the running. Yeah,
it'd be like, how do top qualifying for a world champs? I suppose
100%.
Qualifying for a Kona one maybe, but then you've got everything that's involved with that, the expense and travel and all that.
You know what? Because I came into triathlon late, and I'm not some like die-hard triathlete, like, and I get how everyone, and obviously Kona sounds incredible. I don't get that feeling of like, oh my God, Kona. Whereas I know, like, obviously it is the pinnacle of full distance Ironman for sure. But yeah, I just don't feel that draw. It looks insane, but I felt like I got everything I wanted from Nice. It was insane. It suited me much more.
Yeah. So then you made your announcement on Instagram to become I think it's the best decision you've ever made, because you're a sensational runner, and it's almost rude to the discipline for you not to give it a full shake, innit?
It just felt the right time, and like it was the perfect opportunity. And you know, I do the same races every year. I always have done. I'm just a creature of habit. I don't get bored. But I wanted to target some faster races, and I knew, as much as I convinced myself training for Ironman that cycling and swimming really benefit my running, the thing that makes you faster runner is running, and that's running higher volume, you know, more intensity, more easy runs, and the only way to do that is to drop the other two disciplines. And running is the thing that I feel like is me, you know, it's like my identity, the one that I'm best at, luckily, but it's the one that I love the most, and I just wanted to give it like full focus.
Was there an hard decision, is it a decision you made on your own? Did you speak to people about it?
Yeah, I spoke to I was going to say partner, wife, well, I can't say wife. That's an old woman. I still can't say now. Spoke to her, spoke to my coach, my family, but I think it was more like, I'm always thinking, I live very much in the present, and I always enjoy races and soak them up and don't move on to the next thing. But I'm also in the back of my head always thinking, what's next? And, you know, with Nice, I was just thinking, like, I love this training. It's a lot of commitment over the summer. As much as I would say to my wife that, it's not taking over the summer. It does, really. I realise it does. But, you know, to be honest, it wasn't a hard decision. It just felt really right. And I kept thinking, like, what should I do next year? As in, you know, 2025. And they announced a new Ironman in Leeds. And I was like, maybe I should do that. And I was like, why am I doing it? Like, for what purpose? It was that made me realise, like, I'm happily fulfilled and done and ready to just give the running a go, because I'm Yeah, maybe I can get quicker running with Ironman, but I can't get to that next level, I don't think, without being a runner.
Do you know when you made that choice to be a runner, was there a target, goal, or an ambition you're striving for now with that, or was it just times, or?
Do you know what?
Was it?
I just think it's getting the most out of myself as a runner, whatever that is. So like, it's not like I've even got specific. I mean, I've obviously got goal times in my head, but it's not like I want to get to. It's just that I want to see what I am capable of.
Yeah.
And I commit the focus, basically. And I decided then, like, London was in April this year, obviously, but I was like, I want something sooner, and I want to be more. What's the word? Like targeting a race, more kind of sensible and clever with where can I run a fast time. And the earliest race was Seville. So I was like umming and ahhing about it for ages. And it was actually when I watched the Olympics in July and I watched Alex Yee win. And when he won, I was like, oh my God, that was insane. I was on a high. I went and signed up to Seville Marathon within about 5 minutes. And luckily I pulled out then, like a few days later.
Mate, they're all selling out now.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so then you start Seville, right? So Seville will roll us into 2025, but then this is where the real work starts now. Did you sit down? When did you build? Did you have a goal time from the start, or did you just go for a bit and then say, right, this is what we can do? How does it work? Explain to me who runs a 6:11 marathon. I do run a marathon, no him.
Yes.
Smashed it.
Explain to me, like, how does it work with the goal setting and everything? Ready for Seville, and you know that you're going to run through Seville into London and into the end of this year as well. Then.
Yeah. So, well, I had Nice, and then I had amazing holiday in South France. Amazing, bit of, I call it off-season.
You party almost as good as Niki does after racing.
100%. Like for me,
you
have to as part of the race. In my opinion, you train hard, you smash the race, and then you celebrate.
Enjoy that, exactly. That 3-4 months, whatever it is, deserves celebrated.
So much, and it's always what I'm thinking about in those last few K. Like the IPA. Genuine. But so then I started the marathon build in October. I got back from Nice, had a couple of weeks of just doing whatever I fancied, no plan, just running whatever distance, no sessions, just like, for the fun of it. And then the marathon build began in October. But in terms of targeting times, like my coach Gareth is always right. He's always told me what I can run. And I've always been like, no, too quick, can't do that. And then I've run it. But we really wanted to see how the training went. And he's said to me from the beginning of coaching me, he's like, you're a, low 2:30s runner. And I'm like, what? I think at the time I hadn't even broken 3 hours. He's always seen it, I guess, in me. And I think, the target really was how much can I knock off from 2:41. And I started to get down to these times. The gap, the jump is much bigger. So before I've knocked off 10 minutes, 7 minutes, and now it's like you're really getting down to a couple of minutes, really. But to be honest, the focus, and again, we didn't know how my body would respond to high mileage because I've never been a really high mileage runner. If you look back on my Strava, my big weeks for Ironman Wales and Nice are probably like 50, 60, 70K. And then for London, it might be like 70, 80K a week. But that's like big mileage for me. And we really pushed it and didn't know how I'd respond. And to be honest, my body responded really well. It's like, this is what I thought. This is what my body wants to do. Like, this is what it's But we built it up slowly as well. You can't jump from like 60K weeks to 100-mile weeks. That's never going to happen. So to be honest, Seville really was the first jump in volume. And I think I've peaked at sort of like 120, 130K weeks, which I don't know, that is miles, which again, isn't actually that high volume for people that are running around the times.
About times,
But yeah, the build went really well. Loved the focus on running. It's good because I don't miss swimming and it's shit weather in the UK. So I'm not.
Anyway, that time of year.
Yeah. But as it got closer to the time, you quickly realize it's very much how it feels on the day. The goal was to go. The goal was to get the qualifying standard for Wales for Valencia Marathon in December. there's lots of different criteria. One of them, the first thing is you have to run the qualifying standard, which was 2:36.52 or 55 or something.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, as we got more and more into the training, that was the plan, is to try and get under that time. Even if it doesn't mean qualifying for Wales, it was just still a nice focus. Yeah. What else do you want me to blab about? Sorry,
I was training for a marathon through Christmas because I've always fancied doing Seville, but then I'm like, that 2 weeks of Christmas I think would kill me.
Like, I'm all or nothing in everything I do. So if I'm complete training, I'm all in the training. I'm healthy. I'm not drinking any alcohol. I'm eating really well. Christmas for me is like party season. You know, you've got all the Christmas food. I love food. Like, so it's like time off and trying to train fully through that festive period with however many Christmas do's I had and all sorts. It was so hard. Like, luckily, the weather over the British winter's actually been all right. Like, we had 1 or 2 awful squalls for a day, but it's been quite mild. Well, generally mild, not really that wet and windy.
No.
But it was the booze and the food that really. If you go back on my Instagram, I made a reel because honestly, my Garmin data for about 2 weeks was like, I'm basically dying. Resting heart rate was unbelievably high. My HRV was like red. Everything was like, you're strained, high stress. Every single thing was awful. Training felt horrendous.
But you've done all right.
Yeah, do you know what? And like, I always just think, you know, in times like that, I forget hitting specific paces in sessions. I think as long as I'm still getting the stimulus of the training, I might not run a usual, like, I don't know, 400, 800 split that I would usually do. But as long as the perception of effort's still there, you're still getting that training stimulus. Maybe adapting them because, you know, I did have a couple of nights out and things like that where I'm not feeling that the next day, and actually it's stupid to just put yourself in a hole. You're just going to get ill or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely about being a little bit more sensible, but it kind of worked out nice as like a mid-block break, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Point,
Not fun training for Christmas though.
That's why I never do it.
Yeah.
What did you run in Seville?
2:36.
So that's taking 5 minutes off London. And you can correct me on the seconds if you want, because I just work in minutes because I'm that slow. But taking 5 minutes off per there, yeah?
Yeah, 5 minutes off. I'd say I was like 80% happy. So I thought on the day, if I had an amazing day, like a London 2024, I thought I could run a 2:34. I thought if I have like a really, really, really good day, it'll be a 2:35. And on like a good solid day, fully committed, a 2:36. I would have been disappointed with a 2:37, to be honest. And like, that is genuinely all I had on that day. I just did all the rookie error things I do every year, every marathon. Like, I went to the expo, I walked about 20,000 steps the day before. Like, what are you doing? You know, like these.
Yeah,
we don't learn, do we? We all done it in Valencia. Like 20 of us went to Valencia. We all done about 10 miles the day before. Like, what are we doing? No, we can't.
And like, I went with my mum. We went just me and her, and she signed up for the Seville 5K on the Saturday, and she'd never run a 5K before. She says she's been doing Couch 5K for about 6 years, but she's only ever got to 3K. But she finally committed fully to it. It's called the breakfast run, and she went and did that the day before. I'm like, oh my god, if there's anything to motivate me and inspire me, it was like being a supporter for her, being there for all of them. Like, it's so amazing. It gives me goosebumps now I'm talking about it. But yeah, we had that. Then we had the expo, had the race the next day, and it was just such a sick experience. Like, it was so different to anything I'd run before. It felt a lot more serious, if that makes sense. Like, even though with London I've had the champ start, and loads of people in the champ start, you know, basically just having a big catch up for like an hour before the race with everyone. Whereas Seville, it was like really, really serious. It was like proper pack running, which I'd never done before, like really working in groups together as a team. Like, it was amazing. People like, you know, it was me and just a load of guys basically, like shielding me from the wind, helping, like everyone's sharing water, everyone's like pointing out, silly things like pointing out footholes and turns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really cool group experience. But yeah, I don't think I've ever ran through the limit as I did at Seville. Like, I went out, it felt hard in the first day, and I thought, oh shit, this is going to be a long day. And like, everyone says Seville's a fast course, and it is a fast course. But you look at the map, it's so much windier than you think. Like, there's a bit of wind on the day, and it's these silly little things that just add that little bit extra fatigue, I guess. And yeah, it was solid. Like, it's warm. I don't mind the heat. I've always been okay in the heat. I'm quite small, and yeah, I don't tend to suffer too much. But yeah, I was really happy with my time because it was all I had on the day. And my whole ethos with all my races is like, you can only give everything you've got that day, and as long as that's what you do, then you can come away happy and fulfilled, and that's definitely what I did.
Definitely. Earlier you said, obviously, with the Ironman and where was it? Nice, a new event and everything. Do you think that sacrificing some of that event is going to have to happen for you if you want to give running everything you can and not go into the expos and just rest in? Are you willing to like give those bits up of it, or do you know what I'm asking you?
Yeah,
like the
100%.
entire
I think
experience.
I wasn't willing to for Nice. Like, I knew.
No,
that
but
I
now for running now, like
myself in.
like you just said, the expo's probably taking a minute off you.
Like,
in Seville.
100%. Like, even, sorry, back to Nice, I could literally feel it in my legs on the day. Like, I could feel I wasn't fresh. I could feel I was tired. The same like with London every year. I do the same thing. I think previously I'd been happy to do the whole, like, soak up the whole few days before. That's definitely something I'll change for my next race marathon, which I'll talk about in a minute. So it will be things like going to the expo 2 days before, like staying on my feet, like those little small things, well, big things really, that I really think have such an effect on your freshness and how ready your legs are for the day.
Definitely. Before we get on to London, you had a mad little experience in the middle of Seville and London.
Yeah.
Was your Hindu booked around the marathon, or was the marathon booked around your Hindu?
The hen was booked around the marathon. So basically, I'd had Seville, felt amazing. I'm trying to think when we actually booked it. I'm quite a last-minute person. And like, I was chatting to my bridesmaids, and I was like, I really want to do something like this, like a proper hen. Don't get me wrong. Like, oh, I love a hen more than anyone, and like I do. But I want to do something like different that I'm going to remember. It's memorable. And we were like talking about different things, and then I was like, oh my god, I have to do a marathon. Like, this is what I've got to do. So then I had to look at like marathon around the time that I'd have my hen that would work out. One of them was Barcelona, and I was like, oh, I feel bad like dragging all my friends to Barcelona like for a weekend. And then one of them was Brighton, and I was like, oh, do you know what? Places 100%, like, it ticked all the boxes. And actually, something a lot of people don't know is I was meant to do Brighton Marathon, my first ever like elite spot race, back in 2021 maybe, and I had some like SIJ, whatever it's called, joint back thing, which I'd never had before, flared up a week before the race, and I ended up DNSing, which I'd never done before. So like, Brighton was actually, in the back of my mind of like, I want to go back and actually be able to do the marathon one day. So when it all came together, like, it just felt like the perfect idea. Like, do a marathon, incorporate it within the hen, and hopefully it'll be funny. And yeah, turned out all right.
Let's talk about the night before. What you was drunk. I was watching your stories, and you were dressed as an old woman. I hope they were costume tits, but you were dressed as an old woman.
I wish they were me. Oh, Jesus.
But you were dressed as what time did you get? You was drunk as fuck, by the looks of it. And then you rocked up. How much sleep did you have?
Right. So the hen started from leaving Swansea at, how did we leave? At 6:30 in the morning. Met like half the hen group in some random services on the M4 about 7:30. I managed to hold off from drinking till 8. I thought that was pretty good. They dressed me up in another outfit. On we go to Brighton. I was like, trying to be sensible, but I thought, cracking open a beer at 8 o'clock in the morning.
You can try and be sensible, but you've started drinking at 8. Even if you're sensible.
Funny thing is, like, I had my beers, but then I had like all these litres of water and like tablets. It was such a confusing mix. I even had carb snacks. I was having like Rice Krispie bars, and I was a beer, and I was like, "This doesn't feel right," but we'll go with it. Yeah, got to Brighton like lunchtime. A couple of pints in the sun. My brother surprised me from Australia, which was just absolutely like mental. And then we did like a old school sports day. Like we had some like old PE coach thing, like shouting at us, doing all these different like things. Again, more beers were drunk. Back to the apartment. We had a sick apartment with a huge balcony right on the front, and it was like perfect weather weekend. Like it was like 20 degrees, no clouds. So obviously going to have balcony beers. And then we began the Emily Dale Trail. So yeah, we like basically it was like pub golf, but it was all different beer spots. You had like different beers that you'd have in each one. I think we made it to about 3 or 4. And then just stayed in one and was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. I always think that, like, you're in a pub, don't you, and someone goes, let's go somewhere. Well, no, it's banging in here. We might not get in there. Why do you leave places that are good?
100%. And I said to, like, all the girls and my brother, like, and guys, we had a couple of guys there as well. I was like, right, I'm going to be, like, sensible. I'm going to go out, but, like, I need to be back by 1. Like, 1 a.m. can be my cutoff. And one of the girls came up to me.
Hang on, you started at 8 and 1 a.m. with a marathon the next day is sensible.
Well, one of the girls
14 hours on the pits.
I thought 1 feels late enough to stay out. Problem is,
but not being a dick, like, and
I get FOMO. Like I can't ever think of a night out where I'm not the last person. Like I just always am. I just love having fun. Is the only way to explain it. And one of the girls came up to me at 1:45 was like, right, and it's 1:45, just to give you a heads up. And I was like, I don't remember this. Apparently I said, what about 1-ish? And like, she ain't going home. Out I stayed. We left the pub place, whatever it was, Bath, at like 3, went to the foot-long subway on the way back, got back to the apartment, and yeah, like...
You're not sleeping till 4, like...
Yeah, I think I had 3.5 hours sleep. And
how did you feel when you got up?
The thing is, the only thing, because the story went big, obviously, but it's only from like what I said in the interview post race and on BBC. I'm slightly conscious of what I do and don't say, just because I don't know how the story. I've heard so many variations of this story, by the way, on different news outlets. Like, but
I was so mad, like.
Oh, it's hilarious, honestly. It's like, yeah. But
you're on Italian news, weren't you?
Yeah, Italian news, Canadian news, like Australia, USA. I don't even know where else. Like everywhere.
That's mental.
But I felt disgusting. And people that really know me know that I am a spewy Louie. Like I am not great on a hangover. I'm pretty horrendous, and I do need a lot of sleep. And I tried to eat my porridge. Like I bought a porridge pot, thinking I've got to have something. And honestly, I just couldn't. I was like, no, not going in. Thought I just
I couldn't think of anything I'd like less than porridge on a hangover.
Like warm sick, no, that's not what you want. And I ran down to the Star, and honestly, I can't. It was just such a blur. Like I didn't even know where I was going. I was like, "Excuse me, where's the Marathon Star? Like, what am I doing? Help!" That's it. I got dressed that morning in my full running kit, and my bridesmaids were like, "You don't think you're wearing that, do you?" I was like, "Fair enough." Gave me a few different clothing items. Made it down to the start. I literally got to the start at the back of the pen as the start gun went off, and I was like, "Jesus Christ!" I nearly missed the start. And I just thought, like, right, just settle in now, be fine. And the first 5K, I must have been steaming because I felt insane, like unbelievable. I was like high-fiving everyone. I'd never done a marathon fancy dress. So I was getting so many cheers. People were loving it because I was dressed as a chicken. I was just like, way. it like my predicted watch time said something like, what did it say? It was like 2:45, and I was like, oh, this is too, like, you can't be a few minutes, off your PB today. You're going quick. And Brighton is a savage course. Oh my god. Everyone had warned me about it, and I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. You do the first bit through like the city or town, whatever it is, and it's really cool. And then you go out on the front, and it's a really long route and back, and it's so undulating. And I think the wind on the day was about, 17 miles an hour, and it was straight headwind hills for I don't know how many K. And that's when I was like, really like thinking about my life choices, and just it all hit me. I felt like absolute hell. Like, I can't explain it. Horrendous.
But someone must have told you like how close, because you started picking people off then.
Yeah, so I think it was the out and back, which was horrible. And I thought, oh, you get a tailwind. You're hanging when even a tailwind isn't helping you. It's like, where's the tailwind? It's 70 miles an hour and I can't feel it. I'm slowing down. I felt awful. And at that point, I'm like, right, just finish. And I was just trying to tip the kilometres off. And I was meeting my hen group they told me the different mile markers to meet them the whole course. Every mile marker, they'd give me a new item of clothing to add to my outfit one by one. So it was like, is it a garter, those things that go on your thighs?
Yeah.
Like, if I bend over, I'm going to be sick, so I'll wear it on my own. I had like a veil thing. I had chicken headband, everything. And they were about, I think the next mile marker I was seeing them was at 30K. What would that be, like 19 miles?
18, 19, yeah.
Yeah. And I ran past, and they're all shouting splits at me. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, can I swear? I'm like,
yeah.
Like, fuck off. I don't want splits. I'm literally dying. Like, the last thing I want to hear. But I heard it, and it was like something like, you're in 6th, so many minutes off 3rd. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And then next point, I think my brother texted me. Was it my brother? Someone saying you're 1 minute off 3rd. So I think we started getting a bit of a new life at some point.
Sobered up.
Yeah, I think it was that. And
like a Terminator, the guy off.
I was like, okay. As soon as I knew I was close to 3rd, it's like, I can't even explain it. It was like a mentality shift. I went from survive, just get through it, to being like, fuck it, let's go, like race.
Yeah, that's back to the like pit.
Yeah, I sobered up, and I thought, it's just time to send it. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be hilarious. Just go for it.
Yeah.
And I just literally just upped the pace a little bit more, and it's amazing. Like, it was because of the weather, the crowds were like insane, because everyone was loving my outfit. It was just like helping me feel better, if you know what I mean, just getting so much buzz from the crowd. And then at about 34, 35K, I could see the girl in 3rd, and she had a bike. And I was like, what is that bike doing on course? I was like, oh my God, it's the cyclist with the podium.
That's weird, yeah.
And I just ran past her, and the bike started following me. So I was like,
you must have had a hell of a shock.
Do you know what?
Can you imagine
the chicken
being overtaken by a chicken? That's mean.
I know. I'm not going to lie. I felt bad, because I looked like I wasn't taking it seriously. And it's not that I wasn't. Like, but yeah, it can't be great being overtaken by a chicken, can it? Let's be honest. But I said to the woman on the bike, like, excuse me, like, am I in 3rd? Like, why are you following me, basically? Like, yeah, you're in 3rd. So then I kept going for a bit, and I was like, don't look back, don't look back, don't look back, don't look back. And then about 1 or 2K later, I'd say to her, like, am I clear? Like, how's the gap? She looked behind, she was like, can't see her. Like, you're fine. And then I just thought, right, hang on. Like, if I've overtaken that girl there, she's unlikely to find a second win at 38K. And I was feeling like it was savage, but I just knew I could hold that pace I had. And yeah, as it got closer and closer to the finish line, it's like really started dawning on me, like, oh my God, you're about to podium on your hen dressed as a chicken. Like, this is just
you couldn't believe it. Like, and WhatsApps were popping everywhere, and Instagram went fucking mad after that.
Because Maddie Shattuck was sharing updates of the whole day. So she had me in the morning, just like she's about to go and run a marathon. She went for a run. She ran down with me, like, to the start, and like interviewed me basically, and then ran alongside me in the marathon, was doing updates. So everyone was getting the live update from her Insta as the race went on. Got to the kind of final few hundred meters. My hen was there with like all their like, I don't know, banners and stuff, and they hand me a gigantic blow-up doll, which I pick up. It's so windy though, so I'm like holding her up. She's like,
you lost a few seconds, eh?
I know, definitely. And yeah, across the finish line, and I was absolutely fucked, to be honest. Like I had nothing left. I was just exhausted but buzzing, and they straight away they were like, the organisers were like, can we interview you? You've just finished third. And that interview clip that went viral was literally like a couple of minutes after I'd finished. I didn't even know. I just thought I'd just have a quick chat with the media crew. Like, don't think it will go anywhere. And it absolutely popped off. Like, yeah, they were loving it as well. Like when we had the podium presentation, they were like, "Are you going to take the blow-up doll on the podium?" I was like, "I'm allowed to." They were like, "Oh yeah, it can really happen in a better place." You know what I mean? Brighton.
No, that's Brighton, isn't it? Yeah.
And the whole team were just absolutely legends. Like everyone's loving it. And also credit to the two girls that were in first and second. Such lovely girls, had amazing races. Like I didn't want it to feel like it took credit away from their incredible races, because I was getting so much attention and interviews and things like that because of the outfit and the occasion. And they were just the nicest girls ever. I actually saw the girl in second at London as well. She got another PB. And they were just so lovely about it all as well. And yeah, it was just mad.
What a memory.
Definitely.
The best part is though, the interview made it to like the Brighton Argus, some random local newspaper, like an hour later, and we were all like, "Way, we've made it!"
Little did you know what was coming next.
Yeah, what was happening the next week?
Honestly,
has it died down a bit now, Em?
It had died down, but it got reshared. There's an amazing runner called Susie Chan.
Yeah, I've seen Susie shared it yesterday, didn't she?
Do you know what? Like, a couple of days ago, I was like, why have I suddenly... I just, like, refreshed my Instagram and I had loads of new followers. I was like, what the hell?
How much did your followers go up?
Oh, nearly 3,000.
Mate, you got a Sun God deal, didn't you?
I know, Sun God, underwear, can't complain.
I know.
But I woke up, like, we got back to the apartment in Brighton and, like, we were all just buzzing. And it was so funny because people were obviously seeing it on social media straight away and people were coming up to me and talking. And it took us hours to get back. So we had beers in the whole village and everything like that. We planned to go out. We were drinking in the apartment. But do you know what? I was just knackered. Like, I had nothing left. We were like, let's just have a chilled one. And then the next morning, I woke up to a voicemail from the BBC asking to do a radio and TV interview, I think it was. And then they just kept coming in then, like media requests left, right and centre. Social media was insane. We went for brunch in Brighton and honestly, I felt like a celeb. Like I was couldn't walk more than 10 metres without someone being like, oh my God, are you then? And yeah, it went viral. It literally went viral.
Yeah. Mad. Class, though.
That is brilliant.
Good fun. It's died down now, though. Not thank God. Like it was hilarious.
Could you live like that all? Could you live with an Instagram inbox like that and like?
No.
Can you imagine how these people do it all the time?
This is what I thought because I made an effort. I think I've replied to everyone that DM'd me. Like if I sent you a recording of my DMs, I must have had, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DMs. I don't know how people do it. It like takes over. To be honest, the drive back from Brighton to Swansea, I was pretty much replying to DM most of the drive. I was a passenger.
Thank God. That's a good story though. But
it is.
We still have business to take care of this year as well, and we rounded right back round to London 2025. How was that for you? You went back into another block after. Oh, you obviously. No, you got married after London as well, and we'll get to the wedding. Yeah,
the main thing was to do the block from Seville to London. So got back from Seville, had a couple of easy weeks. Thought, I was like boasting to everyone how quick I'd recovered. I was like, oh my God, I feel absolutely fine. Like 6 days later, obviously not recovered. Thought I'll go for a nice little cliff path run. Boom, pulled my soleus muscle. Honestly, it felt like I'd been shot in the leg. Had to take only a week off. I didn't realise how quickly muscle heals. Amazing. Did the build, then London was the next focus. How did that go? Absolutely the hardest race I've ever done in my life. Harder than any Ironman. hard, just so unbelievably horrendous, to be honest. And yeah, the wedding was, so we actually had a 2-day wedding, very extra.
Yeah.
The wedding was on the Friday and Saturday after London. And the week before the marathon, my brother, who was my man of honor, had come to stay with us to like help with all the final wedding prep. And we are like last minute is in a good way. Like we work well under pressure. You know, we left most of the stuff to do as last minute as we could. And the week or 2 weeks before the wedding, we're like 100 miles an hour, like late nights, lots of shopping, just couldn't sleep. Like I'm really good sleeping. I just couldn't sleep because I was always thinking like, got this to do, got this to do.
On the
And
beach getting pebbles to paint, wasn't it?
literally picking 80. Oh my god, have you ever carried 80 rocks up the hill from Rothersley? Yeah, literally like hill training. And I didn't, the whole week before London, I've got like a bit of a race week kind of routine that I've always got. And it's all about recovering, resting, apart from the expo and, 20,000 steps. But it is all about prioritizing like performance, like getting in my sleep, hydration, eating, carb loading, everything like that. I barely thought about London Marathon that entire week. And I knew that was a bad thing because for me, a huge part of the marathon or any race is like the psychological, mental prep.
Build, yeah.
Really start to mentally prepare to put myself in a really uncomfortable, horrendous position for a few hours. I think that's a huge part of it. Just didn't think about the marathon. And my brother drove me back up. Our parents live in Surrey, drove us back on the Friday. And like, I just felt, I was falling asleep just like in the middle of the day. And I was like, I turned him in the car and I was like, I'm so worried. I said, I feel really burnt out. Like I've never felt like this before. I feel burnt out and I don't know how I'm going to do this marathon. But I just kept thinking, race day vibes, adrenaline, it will be absolutely fine. Did the usual 20,000 steps the day before, went to the Sun God Shakeout run in London. Yeah, stupid. Got back like
what
late.
you got to do as an ambassadoring, Em.
Gotta be done.
Exactly.
Gotta be done. And yeah, the day was just insane. Like I don't know, I so underestimated. Now I look back and I'm like, obviously, you're never gonna run at peak performance. Body's not physically and mentally, emotionally ready in that position. It was proper exhaustion, burnout, fatigue. I started out on the day, even in like the camp start, usually I've got adrenaline, I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm ready. I was just like yapping away to everyone, like catching up with people, like, hey, how's it going? Like I just wasn't even thinking about the race, and it felt so warm. I was thinking, oh my god, it's boiling. First half, I wanted to run. The goal was to run a 2:34, so to break 2:35. And honestly, like it's so easy to say this. That's where I felt my fitness was at. Obviously, you never know, but I felt like I could run a 2:34. My training between Seville to London had gone well. I was running quicker. I was running more mileage. Just everything was like trending in the right way. Went through the half in 1:17:24:25, which is actually a half marathon PB. So I beat myself last year, which is wild when you think of it.
Fair play.
But it was already stinging at that point, and I was thinking like, oh my god, because London's a slow second half. Like I've got to either just like equal, split this, or find something in me to get a 2:35. And I thought, okay, like that was it. I was like, I need to equal split to get a 2:34, or I'll be happy with a 2:35. I got to about 26k, and it is like this feeling of like I was just like done. I've never felt anything like it before. It's like I wasn't absorbing the gels. I was dizzy. I was tripping over my feet. My legs felt like they were going to give way. My knees were banging together. My vision was like, I just couldn't, like, it sounds, but I felt like I couldn't see properly. And yeah, I was trying to take on water at all the aid stations. I was trying to follow my gel plan and everything like that. But it was just like, it's hard to verbalize. And obviously you forget how hard things are when it's done.
And you've had a good run before that as well. If we go back to 2024, you smacked London in 2024. You've had Nice. Seville has been great. You're on the high of the hen. Everything goes up has got to come down as well, Em.
Very true. That's such a good point. And like, this is the first you know, every marathon I've targeted is my first marathon in 2018. And I mean, like, targeted as a race, PB'd in on every half. Every single race has gone well.
Yeah.
And, like, I'd always read these Instagram posts of people being like, I've had a really bad race. And I'd always be like, what? I've never felt that. I've experienced that. And now I'm like, do you know what? I genuinely think I was so due a shit race. I really was. Not to call it shit race. That's the
I was going to say, it wasn't
a bad
shit
day.
like, what you wanted.
Yeah, 100%. And it can't always go your way. Like, you can't always be peaking and performing and running the times you want. And do you know what? It was such a genuinely humbling experience, because it's easy running a marathon when you feel incredible and strong, like Superwoman, dropping people left, right, and centre, and like exceeding your goal. That's easy. Like, you know, the easy work. London, having to keep putting one foot in front of the other, when honestly, I could see the crowds. I just wanted to step off. I just wanted DNF. I just thought, what's the point? I'm not going to get a PB. So it was a huge mindset shift then, thinking, right, it's not about PB then. It's like, basically damage limitation. How quickly can you get to the finish? You know, losing more and more time. My heart rate went the highest it's gone in about 5 years. My every kilometre was getting slower and slower. What would be my like aerobic pace? It's like a 4:05 per K, which now would be my sort of like very easy, like low end tempo. My heart rate was 195, usually be about 150, 560. Like, I was just dying a slow death.
God.
It's mad.
You need days like that more than you need the PB days like that.
For sure. Like,
I imagine anyway, I'm just assuming.
No, you're so right. You really do, because like, and actually reflecting on it, I've always thought, oh my God, there's going to be a race that ends my PB streak, that doesn't go my way. And I've always been dreading that day, to be honest, because it's going to happen inevitably. And I spoke to someone I know, a girl who'd ran and had not a day she wanted at the end. And she said, it's a good day to have a bad day. And I was like, do you know what? That is the perfect reflection of it. It is a good day to have a bad day. I finished the race. I was disappointed for about a minute. Rang Charles, my wife, not wife at the time, wife now. Spoke to her a bit, saw my family. And I was like, do you know what? Like, I couldn't have done anything more. Like, that's all I had to do. So, yeah, how can you be disappointed? It was a course PB, and a year ago it would have been a PB.
Exactly.
Like,
it's a massive course PB as well.
Yeah, 100%. And do you know what? I was so buzzing that it was like wedding week. We sat out as a form, because my brother's back from Australia after a year and a half. We had me, my mum, dad, brother having prosecco and beers on the grass by the finish line. I was just like, this is the life. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I'm having a family. I did what I could do, and like, there's more to life than getting a PB.
And you're going to go again, anew.
100%. And it's just given me more like motivation, like, for my, what I want to call like my redemption race.
Yeah, and next time you're in a race and you're in an all, you've been there before. Like, you've never really been in an all before, from what you've just said. Like, and now you've got the experience of being in a hole to draw on next time it happens as well.
That was a new level hole. Like, don't get me wrong, every marathon is horrendous.
Yeah, they all are.
Like, I can't do this. I'm not going to get this time. I can't hold on to this pace. But yeah, that was a new experience, and I'm really glad I've had it, to be honest. Like, yeah, I wouldn't change it, you know. I genuinely wouldn't change it.
You should try running a 6:11 if you want to feel like what it's like being in an all, right? What's next, Em?
So I've got Swansea Half Marathon in, when's that? A week Sunday.
Defending the title.
Oh, honestly, like, this is what people are saying to me. Oh, no pressure, defending. Honestly, I won't be defending that title, and that is absolutely fine. Like, I know there's some quick runners on that start line. I won't say anyone yet because they haven't announced it, but I know a couple of names that are on there, and they are rapid. Let me tell you that. Like, for me, for Swansea, I'd love to be able to PB, and because I went through London in 1:17:25, which is like a 15-second half marathon PB, but then I'm like, okay, in a half, sure, I can go a bit quicker. So I'm back from the mini moon. We've had the wedding. It was incredible.
It looked amazing.
Oh, it was like, yeah, the wedding was unbelievable. Like, the 2-day thing. The Saturday was our like festival wedding, and it was like this vision we had in our head just came to life. It was insane. Then we went to Ibiza, had fun, you know, like partied a bit, explored, did all that stuff. Felt absolutely horrendous when I came back, like disgusting. Like basically, you know, almost 2 weeks of healthy food, drinking, everything like that. But yeah, I'm back into some routine now, and it's like Swansea half couldn't come at the right time. Like I just needed this focus when I'm back.
Yeah.
Switch back on.
100%. And I'm like back in it now, and I'm really excited for the day. And do you know what? Knowing who's on the start line, if I'm completely honest, I'm like really relieved because I'm not going to Swansea to try and like defend my title and all this sort of stuff. I won once, and I'm so lucky to have won, and I probably won't ever win again because those super fast girls will turn up. But I just want to do myself justice and have a really good, fully committed effort, and hopefully PB, but who knows? Like that would be the plan. And then a few other races in between. I've got 2 triathlons. Whoopsie,
Yeah. We'll be down at 70.3, so we'll catch up down there.
Yeah,
long course.
I can't miss Swansea. It's my local 70.3.
You've got such a responsibility to Swansea, haven't you?
I have. I'm loyal. I'm a loyal.
Like
the Batman. They'll throw a Marchant sign up from the quadrant.
You know it. I did just sign up to Long Course Wales Marathon again on Sunday. I just thought I've got to go back.
Just the marathon.
Yeah, just the marathon. I had my 3rd swim back today in 6 months. There's no way I'm doing 3.8k in the sea.
No, fair enough.
And the bike, I've just started cycling about 8 days ago. So just the marathon, which would be nice because I've only ever done it on the back end of the whole weekend.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, it means you're going to go harder, so it's equally going to be hard.
Even harder.
Yeah, I actually think it will. I don't want to devalue the 2 days before because they are savage. But yeah, I've never I've never woken up with fresh legs for that marathon.
Yeah.
Marbella World Championship 70.3. I qualified in Swansea last year and just thought, why not? Like, go while
you don't have to go to these when you qualify. You know that, Em, don't you?
I know, you do. Yeah, you know that one. It was compulsory. The next big, focus, A race now is I just got an elite entry for Valencia Marathon in December, which I am buzzing about. So that is the one.
That's fast.
I've heard. You did it, didn't you? Is it?
Yeah, I've done it twice. I got injured last year, but it's fast, like such a great race. That is pan flat. Couple of turns, but nothing. But the field is ridiculous, like for how fast it is. Yeah. Great city too, for being really good.
I went years ago.
But stay off your feet.
Yeah.
Yes, Em. Stay off your feet.
No expoing on Saturday, 20,000 steps sightseeing.
No.
But yeah, that's going to be the one. And in terms of goal times, I just don't know yet. We'll see how training goes nearer the time.
Yeah. That's it. It's a long way to go. Yeah,
it is. And the plan over the summer is to keep the run focus, swim and bike once or twice a week, basically. Yeah. Nothing mental. We're going on a big honeymoon in September, big road trip in America. So that'll take a bit of a hit.
You find some races, right?
No, I'm Googling it. Don't tell her. And then we'll see. But I mean, the definite target, first of all, is to go below 2:35. But the question is of how much below.
By then, fitness you in there.
Yeah, who knows?
It's a good run for it.
That's what people keep telling me, and everything I've read about it. It's the one that the top, Olympians qualify, the targets qualified to get
qualified. Yeah. Love it.
So an elite bib, what name are we having on the front of that?
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's going to be the double barrel. It's going to give me letters. Basically, neither of us want to drop our surnames. The only option was to double barrel. I've managed to convince her that Marchant goes first because it sounds better with 2 syllables, Marchant Pit, then 1.
Yeah. Pit Marchant sounds like a job, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true. I can't unhear that now.
I've got your back, yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Oh my God, excellent. Valencia. Nick, you love it, don't it? I want to do Valencia because it looks like a slip and slide the finish line does, doesn't it?
Oh, the finish line superb because you come down. It's like a nice ramp. They build a ramp over because it's cobbled and it goes over the water. It's a brilliant finish. Slightly downhill as well. It's class. Right by the Oceanographic Centre. And the start. We start above it on the bridge. Start and finish is class. It's really well supported as well. Yeah, it's getting so well. It sells out. It's like they call it the 7th major now. Well, now Sydney, but everyone says it's such a great race. I've done it twice. I had a shit time last year because I got injured, but still enjoyed it. Brilliant.
Everyone speaks so highly about it, so
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'll have to go back. I need to go back for Redemption. Maybe not this. Well, I'm not this year. A couple of years, but yeah, it's a brilliant race.
One of the fastest courses around though when you Google it. Like I think it was like the course with the most sub-3 finish.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is stupidly quick, and the amount of runners that are quick at it. Yeah.
And that makes a difference. Like having those running, so different.
Huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, love it.
Right, we won't take a break. We'll get straight into these Instagram questions, and then we can all get off and have our tea. First up, Lewis Bradley wants to know if you remember your wedding speech.
That short speech, if you know, you know. Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah. Let's get some running questions, is it? Have you ever had a plateau in training, and how do you get through it?
Oh, definitely. Like, I'd say I plateau when things like Christmas or weddings and holidays and things like that, when, like, you know, coming back from wedding and Ibiza, I'm basically trying to chase my pre-wedding fitness. I'm not gaining any fitness. But in terms of how, you know, you get over it, I mean, you just got to keep turning up. And kind of like what I said at the start, it might be that you're not quite hitting paces you want, but as long as you still are putting your body through that stimulus and that perception of effort, and it might be that you need to switch it up a bit, add in an extra rest day, you know, like give yourself some slack sometimes. Sometimes the plateaus because you're just so fatigued and need a bit of a reset, but just keep showing up. You know, you will break through that plateau.
I hate it when people give you a choice, because you're so, I don't know why you keep calling her Aim, but that's my wife. If you could only do one race or event every year forever, what would it be?
London Marathon. I hate to say it. It is
Not
just...
Ironman Wales?
Nah, I don't know.
I'm with Ironman now.
Yeah, I'm retired.
You're going down to watch this year?
Yeah, 100%. If I can convince my wife that we get back from a honeymoon in time. But yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think it'd be London. It is just like, I love it. It is. I said it last podcast and I feel the same, even though I had a hard day out. It is so special.
I felt like this year it was on steroids. It was like, it just felt mental this year. The crowd just
insane.
My 5th time, and it just felt like it was the best experience I've had of it. It just felt insane this year. I think the weather helped a lot, doesn't it?
It always does. Sunny days always help. I've got those in earphones and I listen to drum and bass, right? I couldn't even hear the music because the crowd was so loud. Yeah. Mad.
What drives you to keep training so hard and keep smashing your PBs?
Honestly, I just love it. Like, that's all it comes down to.
I think that's what it is. I
enjoy it.
When it's a hobby, it is a hobby. You're just really, really, really good at a hobby at the moment, yeah? So it's just the enjoyment.
Hugely. Yeah. And this is what I always say to people, like, none of us are pros. Like, we're not, well, I've had a bit of race money from wins and things, nothing mental. Well, you know, a bit of money. But
like Dan Nash, when Dan Nash was on, he broke it down, and last year he ran for way under minimum wage.
Yeah.
When you think about the hours he's put in for the financial reward that he's been lucky to get.
Yeah, it is like, it's genuinely the love of it, the enjoyment. I've always loved sports, like since I could walk. I've always been 40 and, you know, trained in something. And there's definitely something addictive about bettering yourself, chasing times, performing. But I've always loved the day-to-day, you know, I wake up, I'm excited for my session. I'm like, as soon as my training peaks refreshes, I get my training week by week. I'm like looking for the sessions, looking forward to it. I just love it. That's what it is.
Happy days. And last one, before you have to give us a song, but this last one, what challenge that feels massive now do you most want to achieve? I like that one.
100%, 100-mile ultra. That is in my head.
What?
Yeah, not yet. Like, give me maybe, I don't know, 10 years or so. I'd love to get, when I start to slow down is when the distance. But no, I'd love to get into the world of ultra running for sure. Like, I think, especially hilly ones, I just think that's what my body is designed to do.
Good that, yeah.
Small, fairly light, slightly powerful, can run uphills well, and yeah, I'd love to get some of those proper endurance ultras under my belt. But right now, it feels mental.
Yeah, you're an animal. Excellent. Right, what song? So last time, if you haven't gone back and listened to the last episode we done with Emily, she picked Jodie Foster, right, as a person to play you in a movie of your life, but you didn't give us a song.
That is true, yeah.
I'm not going to make you sing it, but what are you going to add?
Well, people that know me know I love a bit of drum and bass. That is my favourite genre. We got married a few weeks ago, and well, on the 2 days, we walked down the aisle to, on Friday, the legal part, Afterglow by Wilkinson, featuring Becky Hill. We walked down the aisle to the acoustic song, and then when we were married, we came back down to the full drum and bass song. So it would be Afterglow, full drum and bass version, not acoustic.
Brilliant.
That's amazing. The wedding looked class, Em. What a 14 months it's been since we last caught up.
I know, it's wild when you look back. It's been amazing, and I'm just riding the high because, you know, these things, you know, times, and I feel like I'm probably at around my peak. You know, maybe it will last for a few more years. There's other life things that Charlotte and I want to do as well, of course. But yeah, like, I'm just riding it while it lasts, and I'm loving it.
Let's stay off our feet in the expo. The Valencia expo shit anyway, Nick, and don't bother going, right?
Yeah, no, well, you've got to go. I've never got your number, but yeah, apart from that, don't bother. Straight out. They changed it that last year. It's like you've got to get a tram out to it. It's like not at the start-finish area. It's out a few miles, so yeah, just go out, get a number and get home.
I will. I promise. You can hold me to that.
Yeah, and on the tram, don't walk it.
Yeah, legs up.
Absolute legend, always a pleasure. I'm sure we'll bump into each other. Well, we'll see you down to 70.3 now.
Nice.
There won't be anyone just going round. Go on, Em. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Saying I'm one of the only runners that always says hi.
One of the most polite triathletes.
Yeah. Love it.
But we bumped into the other day. Now I was running with my brother, and he was amazed because you stopped. I had a chat for about 5 minutes. And then you went, and then like a minute later, he goes, I can't see her now. She's gone. Gone, like a bullet. Oh, always a pleasure. Nick, anything before we wrap it up?
No, great to catch up again, Em, and keep going at it this year now. I won't see you at Swansea because I got castled. Well, see you at the 70.3.
Nice one.
Best of luck with them. And yeah, that's it. Another week done. We're back off holidays. Thanks, Em, and we'll see you on a start line somewhere soon.
Love it. Thanks for having me. We'll have to get a beer at the 70.3 at the end as well.
Yes, definitely.
I'll even have one.
You'll even have one?
Yeah.
You haven't had one for ages.
I know.
Breaking your sobriety.
I'm just boring now, Em.